Good morning. I would imagine that a lot of you are feeling a little unsettled right now and that you're sort of swirling, and hence the title, right? That, we might be in a rattling. I'm gonna rattle this around just a bit. Sort of a shitstorm right now. And I was gonna walk you through what's transpired over the last week, what's coming, and give you a perspective that might be different than what you thought it was, okay? So hang in there. Thank you so much for joining me. So we've talked a lot over the last few months, probably since May, June, about solar flares, solar storms, solar winds. And I wanted to show you this, which is the solar wind history on November 6th and 7th, 7th and 8th. So when the solar winds or the effect of the sun starts to hit us, then it starts to look like this. And this is when we're at a low C class. There's some turbulence, there's something going on. By the afternoon, evening into the 7th, we started to see some bubbling. And then what you can see is for 11 hours straight, right here, we were at a very, very high peak where it was even in the red zone. So what that means really is that our energetic system, our nervous system, our moods, our ability to handle and cope with things is going to be really challenged, absolutely challenged. Like there are going to be parts of us that are just going, I don't know what to do. I feel all this pressure coming in on top of me. I don't know what to think. It's shattering out in different directions. I'm being exploded out of who I am, right? I've got so many cards for you. The level of stress that I was carrying just got dramatically worse, absolutely worse. And you've got this little monkey over here ready to pop the ball, and everything that you thought you had handled, everything that you wanted to do was not really working. I have one more in here that I thought I would show you. Well, I'll save that one. And what I'm noticing is that we're being asked to go towards things really, really fast. Like whatever we thought we were doing, we're going there right now. So these cards are showing us that the energy is shifting fast and we are being asked to go with it. So Pam Youngins gives me a lot of information, or gives all of us on Facebook a lot of information on the solar flares, the winds, the geomagnetic storms, right? They're going to rattle the big issues. They're going to bring some things to the surface, and they're going to start magnetizing and pulling things up that we have been hiding. Looking the other way, pretending like they're not there. It might be the level of alcohol that you're drinking, or the way that you self-medicate. It might be the finances that you're hiding from yourself or from the people in your life. It might be how much you hate your job. It could be, think about it as that little secret, or that thing that's down there that you just don't want anybody to know. And so you've hidden it, it's been buried, you've handled it, you've controlled it, you've managed it. And so it's when those levels of dissatisfaction, energetic dissatisfaction, start to come up, right? So with these solar flares, this is what started to pull it to the surface. And then this was over on the 8th, right? It was over on the 8th. And so it's okay. Maybe that was 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, right? And the residual's still there. We're still sort of rattled. And now we have this new moon. So the way that, I'm not an astrologer, I just like to watch different videos and read from different men and women who are explaining what's going on with the planets. So I thought I would invite you to what I put together from Astro Butterfly about what's going on tomorrow morning at 2:27 a.m. Mountain Time. So it's gonna be 4:27 Eastern and 1:27 Pacific, right? In the US. So let's just personalize all of this and talk about, there's going to be a new moon in Scorpio tomorrow morning, which is late tonight if you're asleep, right? Scorpio is the cultivator. I have these cards. I have so many cards down here to show you. Scorpio's the deep, dark person who goes down into the depths of the ocean and starts to handle, hold, release the secrets, right? So we have the new moon in Scorpio. In Scorpio, we know that, right? So let's just imagine that you're going to have a dinner party and the new moon is in Scorpio. So you know that this guy, this energy is going to go down deep, and you're a little nervous because some people that are coming that you are not sure, might be a wild card in there, might be a little unpredictable, right? And Scorpio may or may not be satisfied at this point, right? So just imagine having a dinner party with Scorpio included, right? So how do I want to do this? At this dinner party, standing shoulder to shoulder with the sun, with the moon, is Mars. Mars is like standing there. So Mars is going to be that person who's a little bit of a hothead, little person who's going to push and shove you when they think they know what's right. They're going to bully, sort of like use a lot of fire and get things going, which means something like, I've been telling you for a long time, it's about time. And so Mars is going to show up, and Mars gets shit done, right? They're bossy, they're strong, they have willpower, they're determined, and they're going to align with you and go, it's time, let's get some stuff done, right? So Mars is now at the dinner party with Scorpio, who's down there, right? Going, well, why don't you just go after this? It's just the right time. Go do it now. A little bossy, right? And directly across the table from Mars is Uranus, and Uranus is in Taurus. So Scorpio is a fixed sign. Taurus is a fixed sign, which means that they're going to sit there and they're going to go, you can't make me. Nope, I'm not doing it. And Uranus is like directly across going, oh, wait a minute, there's something that you've been hiding. There's something you want to do. And I'm going to go in there, and we're going to go right straight after that. We're going to go in so hard, and we're going to go after some of these things that you've been pretending aren't there. We're going to go after some of the pains that you've been carrying around, because it's time. Let's just get them up and get them out. And so Uranus is unexpected. Uranus is the person who can explode things when they feel like it's the right thing to do. They're big changes, right? They're electrical. Uranus is the lightning rod that comes down and goes zoom. So you're sitting there with a troublemaker who wants to explode things in Uranus, with Mars who's like, just get this shit done, let's go. And then you've got Neptune in Pisces, which is trine. So you've got Mars alongside the moon, Uranus across from it, and Neptune over to the side in the very supportive role, kind of like the coach and the therapist going, I think it's time that we do this. And they're the psychic, they're the knower, they're the ones who's like, you've been putting this off for a long time. It's okay, we can do this. And you're like, shut up. And then you're trying to get Uranus to stop stirring things up and being unpredictable, and you want Mars to stop pushing on you. That's what we're going into. We've probably been in that Saturday, today, Sunday, big time tomorrow, Monday, where you've got some insightful information about maybe, oh man, I have so many cards here from the Rumi deck and from the Sacred Rebels, right? So you've got some external planetary pressure putting a lot of energy down on you, right? And you're like, I don't know if I want to hold on to this. I just need this to stop. And all of the members of this dinner party are going, but it's okay, it's time. We're here to support you. We'll stand alongside of you. We'll even explode it so that there's no reason for you not to do that, right? And you're like, wow, there's so much discontent here, I don't know what to do. This is so big and it's so swirly, and I'm in fear. What if I have to get clean about my level of drinking? What if I have to admit that I can't afford to pay for things? These are the fears that we've been burying and hiding and sort of crumbling, like, oh, what do I do with this? Please guide me. Because, again, as I've said, I've got these cards. There's a lot of stories going on as to what you've been carrying, right? So this stuff is going to come up. It's going to be big. It's going to land. It's going to expose you. It's going to be vulnerable. It's timely. You may have some anger. It's going to be unexpected. You won't be able to control it the way that you want to. And it's going to take you to a place where maybe you can't follow the social norms anymore. Maybe you just can't pretend like you're okay. Maybe you're morphing at such a rapid speed, right? Where I'm looking for my card again, might not be able to find it. You're morphing at such a rapid speed that your life is changing. So I think the reason I wanted to talk about this today is that you've been preparing for this for years. You've been preparing for this for lifetimes. You're here to let this pressure come and start to stir up. And I think the reason that I have all these cards is that they tell such a beautiful story, right? Is that you're going to be internal, working on what is it that needs to come up and through me. And this is deep, old, past life moon information. So this new moon is going to bring up all these karmas, all these old stories, and sort of, here's the tower, sort of knock some things loose from you. Right? So I don't think it's catastrophic. I don't even think it's really hard. I think it's just sort of like, oh, phew, I finally get to stop running away from this. So I have 6 tips for you today, and I wanted to go through them rather quickly because I want to make sure this story sort of stays at about 15 minutes. So number 1, acknowledge that you're in a swirl, that you're spinning, that some really important issues are up to face, to talk to and explore. It's up. It's kind of like just turn and face them. Go like, okay, it's up. Here we go. So see it, feel it, face it, right? Acknowledge it. It's up. Number 2, find your wise woman, find your wise man, find that wise human, right? And pull into that deep intuitive knowing, Neptune, with the skills that you have, Mars, and sit down with those pieces of you that you've been hiding and go, okay, let's talk. It's when you're afraid to talk to someone for a long time about something difficult, and finally you just sit down and you go, let's just talk about this. Let's work it through. And you keep your anger at bay, you keep your fear at bay, and you just show up with wisdom. Okay? Number 3. Use your tools. Use the tools that we have talked about for weeks and weeks and months and sometimes even years, as in the parenting videos I did earlier, which is, how do you regulate your solar plexus and your breathing so that you stay nice and calm? So that's when the wise human can emerge. How do you calm down your nervous system and regulate it, right? So then, you soothe your kidneys, you soothe your adrenals, you soothe your breathing. You trust yourself and you trust your self-knowledge, right? And you know that you're addressing your fears. I don't know that there's anything else on the other side of this that I will ever need to be afraid of. Now's the time to address this, right? Number 4, validate, recognize, accept all that is present. All that's present. Just go like, of course, you're here and you're here now. I'm here, let's talk. Ask questions, listen, stay open, stay wise, stay nurturing. Like, yeah, it's been a long time since I've really had this honest conversation with myself. Be willing, use your Mars energy, use your strength and your courage to say, what do I need to walk through to get to the other side of this? Number 5, ask for help. Go to a therapist, go to a coach, go to a shaman, go to somebody who you can sit with and say, I'm facing something really big, it's kind of scary, and it's time, right? And number 6, be compassionate. Be compassionate because, whether we wanted to or not, we have been, it's almost like the heat has been driving the wound, driving the sores, driving the inflammation, the infection to the surface so that you can finally deal with it. And I think that this is going to bring us into, and the flip side of this, December, January, February, March, is going to be so much easier because this is starting to, we're not hiding anymore. We're not pushing it down. So I'm around. I'm here. You can do individual sessions with me. You can do tarot readings. You can do anything that might help you out with this. But let me know how I can help. You take care of yourself. See you on the flip side.